Hey guys, Caden here. In this video, we're going to be breaking down the steps on what you need to do to run a $500 a month reselling business. If you're not there yet, this video is exactly for you. And don't worry if you're not there yet. Again, this is going to be a beginner style video, so if you're not there, it's completely fine, but we're going to cover the steps on what you need to do to accomplish that goal. I want to throw out a few disclaimers that when starting a new reselling business, it's going to be a lot more work than you expect. A lot of people come in, they think it's going to be easy, which it can be easy once you set up the systems. However, it's going to be way more work than you first expect, but when you actually do it, it's going to pay off. Keep in mind, you're starting from zero, absolutely zero. So you know nothing. You have no experiences, you have no failures, you have nothing, right? So it's going to take a lot longer, again, than you usually would expect. Also, if you want to make $500 a month, you have to spend a lot of money, all right? On average, you'd have to spend around $1,250 per month and sell that just to make $500 in profit, all right? That's what you should expect to do. Now, with that being said, a lot of you guys aren't ever going to even get near that point. You're only going to maybe spend 2, 3, 4 pairs of shoes, not ever get near $500 in profit because you're just not buying enough shoes, right? If you only get $500 worth of sales, how can you expect to get $500 in profit? It just doesn't add up. So I want to make that clear. Let's say $1,500 could be that number that you need to shoot for, 15 pairs, and let's say you do it in a month. So you just sell one shoe every other day. That's much more manageable. And again, that's going to set your expectations a lot better because if you just come in expecting to only sell a few shoes and make that $500, again, you're not going to meet your expectations. Also, real quick, another way to look at it is $500 is just $16 per day for an entire month, which again, really isn't that much. So your first friend and your easiest friend by far is going to be hype releases. Like these Air Force Ones that just dropped for $160. Some pairs are selling for over $700, which is crazy. So you can make $300 or $400 depending on what size you got after fees and make money like that instantly just off one pair. Now, is that super consistent? No. Do these releases come out pretty often? Sure, right? The Travis just dropped this week as well. So you can make money on some of these shoes and it's awesome because you hit it and you make money instantly. Again, this isn't something you're going to want to rely on though. I see a big mistake that a lot of new resellers make is they only rely on this stuff and they try to hit sneakers drops and whatever, and they just sign up and spend all this time signing up for raffles and they really have nothing to show for it, right? So it's a good way to make some money and you do get lucky occasionally and you, again, make some really instant cash, which is awesome, but it's not the most consistent way by far. And also, if you don't know about these releases, that can be another thing. When I started out, I sure as hell didn't know where to go for these releases. I didn't know, which ones I should be buying or what sizes. Don't worry, if you need help with that, I cover all that inside of my accelerator group. We announce whenever releases are going to be happening, so you can always buy these shoes and just be aware. So again, just to recap, raffles are pretty much just free money. Doesn't take a ton of time. However, if you're entering every single raffle, it could take a little bit of time, but I'm pretty sure you can make almost $500 a month because I know I've done it just from raffles alone. Again, it's just not going to be super consistent. You might make $1,000 one month and only $200 the next month, right? So you're kind of depending on what Nike releases or Adidas. And again, I don't like depending on luck in my business. I want to build an actual skill that I can translate to make money. Now, if you want consistency and you want to actually learn how to make money consistently, you have to learn how to source for yourself. This could mean going to Nike outlets and looking for shoes and buying them at really cheap prices. This could also mean going online, right, and finding good deals on websites, right? Personally, I have a Google Doc with over 200 different websites that I source through, right? So every single day, I'm going through there, I'm buying shoes, and I make $100 online before I do anything else. It's already early in the morning. I've already done that. I've already bought enough shoes to make $100 in profit, right, once all that stuff sells. And that's something that I've built into my schedule specifically. I'll give you guys an example. Here's a shoe that was bought online. These Air Maxes, I bought them for $80. I sold them on Poison for, I think it was $135 after fees. So I made a really good profit. And again, Poison with very little fees was awesome. I made a huge profit and I'm very happy with it. And it was online, right? So now you just do that over and over again. Those shoes were sitting on Nike. I could have bought as many as I wanted. And that's the cool thing with online sourcing. Plus, for those who don't know, this is the next process. I take that shoe, I box it up in the same box Nike shipped it to me in. I ship it to Poison. The label's already paid for and everything. Poison gets it, they authenticate it, boom, I get paid, right? That simple. I don't have to worry about any of the fulfillment. I don't have to worry about sending it to the buyer. I don't do any of that stuff. Once they authenticate it, I get paid, I'm happy, and it's a super easy process. So again, off that shoe, I made around $50. You only need to do that 10 times per month to end up making your $500 profit. So 3 days, once every 3 days. And that was an online pair, right? So again, with reselling, it's not something that you have to be doing every single second of the day. But rather, you find one good thing, you spend an hour doing it, you buy a ton of it in bulk, you buy 10 pairs of those, for example, and boom, you're at $500. You don't have to do anything else for the month, right? But the key is you have to learn how can you source stuff consistently, right? Inside of our accelerator group, I have a 5-hour course where I deep dive into all these topics, and I show you all the same tools and resources that I use, so you guys can learn, hey, what shoes are gonna be good and which ones aren't. But remember, again, you have to actually be willing to spend the money in order to make the money. Right there, I was telling you guys, those shoes were $80. If I bought 10 pairs, that'd be $800 just to make $500 in profit, right? Which is a really good trade-off. But a lot of you guys aren't willing to spend that much money to make that much in profit. So you just have to realize what you're coming into the game with and how much tools you have equipped with is, what you can expect to make. And by the way, I have a ton of other YouTube videos where I cover sourcing, so you can check out the rest of my channel if you haven't seen those. Tons and tons of examples of in-store and online, so check those out as well. And again, I'm going to reiterate this. You have to be willing to spend money. I spend minimum $1,000 a day on shoes because that's my goal. I want to do at least $30,000 in sales every single month. So for you, whatever that goal is, if you want to hit $3,000 in sales, you got to spend $100 a day, right? And if you're not doing that, again, those days just, you lose them and they just, you're basically taking 2 steps back. You don't want to be doing that, right? So you got to keep momentum. You always have to be constantly buying. I get this question a lot. Caden, should I wait for my shoes to sell before I buy more shoes? The answer is no. Right? If I'm holding $100 in front of you and I say you can make $100 profit on the shoe and you go, well, Caden, I have some other shoes that I need to sell first before, I'm willing to go and buy that. It doesn't make sense at all, right? You have to be willing to invest into future inventory as well, because what happens is, let's say you buy 10 pairs of shoes, you sell them all, now you have 0 and you're starting from scratch again. Versus if you had 10 pairs of shoes and you sell 2 and then you buy 2 more, again, you're constantly replenishing your inventory, which is what you always need to be doing. I'm telling you guys, if you follow these steps, you're gonna make $500 a month, and even in your first month, you can do it. Check out some of these results from my accelerator group. I'm just gonna throw some on the screen. These are other clients that I've been working with inside of my group, which the average client does $600 in profit in their first 30 days when they reach around 2,000 in sales. All right, so these are some of the results as you can see, and yeah, they've been crushing it, and it's just because they follow the instructions in this video. And in reality, there's no secret to this business. You just have to do the things, right? You have to learn how to source, you have to know how to sell, right? And then you have to make that connection over and over and over again. And then after that, the goal becomes how quickly can you make $500, right? Take, for example, Caleb, one of my clients here. He started working with me in my ARCP coaching program, my actual one-on-one coaching program at the beginning of this year in January. And check how quickly he's making $500, right? This guy's been crushing it throughout the year. And this is just the beginning of the month. All right, so that's kind of the idea. Once you start understanding what you're doing, you end up stacking those wins over time, and again, you end up getting big results. But again, literally the reason he does this is because he spends a lot of money, right? And he sells a lot of shoes, and he's constantly doing that. He's constantly reinvesting. That's literally the process. You guys just got really good at those 2 things that I just mentioned. You can just continue to do the process over and over again, and you're gonna make a lot of money from reselling. Buy shoes, sell shoes, make money, all right? You just have to repeat that process. And you remember, the quicker you do that, the quicker you're gonna get results, right? So if you guys do want to work with me, you want access to some of my other resources and tools that I use, like the Nike backend, our in-store monitors. We actually send leads to you every single day, just shoes that you can go and buy that are already profitable. I provide all this inside of my accelerator group. We're capping enrollment at the end of this month, so check the link down in the bio or in the description down below. I'm trying to get this group to 1,000 members because I wanna make it so we can make $1 million per month in this group. That's my goal, all right? I want all the clients inside to make $1 million in profit. Because the really goal, again, like I want to get all the 1,000 people in there, have them making $1,000 a month, boom, $1 million in profit a month, which would be pretty sick. So that's really my goal for this year. If you want to help out and you want to do it yourself, again, click the link down below. I'd love to see you inside. But thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.